welcome everybody to another Warp World episode of World 1-1 Podcast. We're back with you for E3 week. We're going to be covering Bethesda's showing, and then later on we're also going to be coming back to you with coverage on Ubisoft as well as Sony. So with me, as always, is my co-host and, piece of chocolate wonder there, Eddie V.
Hello,
and
everybody.
I'm going to turn it over to him. Where we're going to let Eddie kind of run things since he's got the notes, since I've been busy live tweeting all the shows for you guys. So, Eddie, what did Bethesda bring to the table this year?
Bethesda actually brought something different. They started off the show with some of the developers' kids talking about what their parents do, and then the parents came in, and one of the guys came out, spoke, and then we were introduced to a direct style conference. We all were going to have fun in Bethesda Land. At first, I kind of wanted my money back. Be like, I'm like, I want to go to Six Flags. But they actually started off the show with Bethesda Land, and it was kind of funny. It was cute, very enjoyable. They started off with Bethesda announcing Doom VFR at E3, which is going to be out for Vive and PSVR. And a lot of these games that they showed, they didn't have no dates for them. But, they started off with that. And then they went into showing that VR is also going to be for Skyrim and Fallout.
Yeah. No, Bethesda definitely devoted a good chunk of their showing to VR this year. Bringing some of their biggest and probably most, really, when you think about it, I would almost say that most of Bethesda's games would or could at least make sense in VR. You look at anything like Fallout or, Doom, which, Doom they showed, Elder Scrolls they showed, but any of those I could see, being fairly competent in VR. I don't know yet if it's the thing that makes people finally jump on the VR train.
Yes.
But it's at least something more substantial for those that already have.
Yes.
So credit to them for not waiting for it to take off and being some of the ones to say, we will provide the reason for you to invest.
Right. And the Doom VFR, actually looks like a brand new game. It looks like very different than the original Doom for it. Because it's something like that. He was able to teleport faster at some parts of the demo stuff. So,
I don't know. It didn't look all that different to me, truthfully, but maybe it's just me.
Okay. Well, moving on with that, they showed, Fallout 4 for VR is coming out this October, so everybody will be able to play that. They moved on to show, 2 new add-ons for Elder Scrolls Online, so you'll be able to check that out. I know, they talked about Morrowind, which was already out, so that was kind of weird that they added that to, added that to their press conference. Any thoughts about that or anything, Larry?
Not really. One thing I do think they did very, very smartly, though, that stood out to me for their show was the way that they strung their presentation together with Bethesda Land. It was hokey, but it was just dumb enough to work.
Yes.
So it felt cohesive, and I liked that fact.
Yeah. Everybody, the add-ons that they're having is Horns of the Reach and Clockwork City. So those would be the 2 add-ons for Elder Scrolls Online. That'll be coming later on. I don't know when it's gonna come or anything, but it'll be there. Moving on from that, the Elder Scrolls Legend is getting a Skyrim expansion, Heroes of Skyrim. So it's getting Heroes of the Legend is a card-based game. So, yay, old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon card game, I guess.
I don't know. It seems to be a thing that more and more of them are probably going to try and capitalize on. Hearthstone has become very, very big.
Mm-hmm.
And on the back of that, we had Gwent from The Witcher, um, which seems to have garnered a lot of positive attention.
Yes.
And so I think it only kind of makes sense that Elder Scrolls jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
That
It would have been
doesn't
cool.
seem that out of line to me.
It would have been cool if it had like a Uno style game, like a medieval Uno. Uno, if that was out, slack. So, Skyrim on Switch.
No, we had Uno on Xbox, dude. Do you remember what happened
Yes, I
when
know.
video chat happened
Yes,
with
I know.
Uno?
I
You
know
really
all
want a
about
fucking
that.
repeat of that shit?
No, I was just saying the Uno style game in the Elder Scrolls.
I know, and that somehow would only make it worse.
Well, moving on from that, Skyrim on Switch is getting amiibo support. It includes that you could use Link from Breath of the Wild. Your character will actually dress like him. And they just showed him running. They didn't really show if he has the Master Sword or riding Epona or any other things like that.
No, they did show the Master Sword.
Oh, they did?
They did. It's there. You know, they didn't make it real clear if that was the only amiibo support or if there are other things coming as well, though. So I'm curious to see if throughout the rest of the week we get a little clarification on that, quite possibly at Nintendo Show tomorrow.
Yeah, we shall see. The Evil Within 2 gets revealed. It's coming Friday the 13th in October. And I've got to say, this trailer looks better than Death Stranding. Like, I was into this trailer. I was into everything. I was just like, oh, you guys are going for, I mean, the cliche daughter thing, I could understand. But like the visuals that they used in the way that it was cut and just look, I'm like, this is better than Death Stranding, like hands on. That may be me though.
Yeah, well, Death Stranding is a weird, odd thing, so it's very disjointed as well at the moment, which is, again, one of those things that it's par for the course for Kojima. If it wasn't, I would be concerned about his mental health.
Exactly.
But no, Evil Within 2 looked, God, they put up a hell of a showing for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, sold.
Yeah, I believe I own the first one, and I might rebuy it for like Xbox One, cause I have it for PS3, but I need to upgrade, and it's only $20 for the first one. I'm down for the part 2. I'm down for the Evil Within 2.
Agreed.
Yes. They moved on to Quake Champions. They showed some new maps and particular familiar face. Also, more of it's going to be at QuakeCon. I think that's like August 26th or 29th. They announced that, so there'll be more information about that. Are you interested in the Quake game? It looks very basic.
It's beyond not my thing. I get it for those that are into it. I do, but it is so far from being anything I'm interested in personally, just for the simple fact that it's an arena multiplayer shooter. I don't care. If I'm going to play a shooter, I want to play something that has a really, solid story that sucks me into it and that just pulls me along by the narrative. The multiplayer typically does nothing for me.
Okay. Moving on. Yeah.
Things like Quake and Unreal, those are things that are just kind of right out the window for me.
Yeah, Unreal was like very boring. Like, I guess. So yeah, it didn't do nothing for me. But people who are a community who like that game, they should be excited. They should look forward to it. To QuakeCon in August. Moving on from that, Bethesda announced Dishonored: Death of the Outsider. This one is going to be a standalone title for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And this one, it takes place where one of the characters you meet in Dishonored 2 is rescuing one of her, like, I guess friends or something, and their plan is to go out and find and kill the outsider. And it looks like the person that you killed in the first one that appears in your memories in Dishonored 2. I think he's going to be the main villain that they're going to be going after in this game. I am playing Dishonored 2. I kind of wish they show some gameplay for this one. It was just pretty much a trailer for it, and that was all. I'm going to wait. I'm really going to wait on this one.
I think this marks the beginning of an interesting new era. We're starting to see games that aren't full blown sequels, but are more than just a little bit of DLC, that are these standalone side stories that aren't full $60 endeavors, because they're building off of an end, and they want to tell you another short story tied into it. And I'm intrigued. I'm happy about this. I like this. This is a solid way to, build out your universe at a reasonable cost, and something that doesn't make the gamer, the consumer, the player feel like they're getting gouged.
Right. And you know what? I'm down for it if it offers, I would say, 10 to 12 hours of gameplay and has a little bit of replay. I'm down for that. Like a $40 budget title. That's what I feel like. And it don't have to be too long, like longer than almost the original game. But I'm just like, if it gives me 10 to 12 hours, I'm down for that. For $40, yeah, I'm good for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I think we're heading in a good direction here. We're in this era now where we're getting half steps between full blown sequel and DLC, and it feels like it's more than episodic content per se. It's more substantial there, so I'm okay with paying that $30 to $40 for something like this. I think $30 is more in that sweet spot, just because, again, like I said, they're building this primarily on existing assets.
Yeah. But
for the most part.
But I think some of it sometimes is like they improved the graphics than the original. So I feel like a little bit more effort. If they do come out at 30, I'm fine. Like I said, if they come out at 40, I think that's a good price. I think we probably both agree, like $30 or $40. I think this title probably should come out at $30. Because if they're using the assets in their engine from Dishonored 2, they should be able to make this game, not quickly, but be able to almost make the same game and be able to release it where they can make a profit, because $30 would be good for it. And plus, Dishonored 2 is really like, right now, it's like $40 for the game itself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good value. And you know what, I'd be cool if they did a Game of the Year edition where,
this is packed in, yeah.
Yeah, and like maybe $70 or $75, I think would be a good deal for it. Because you get Dishonored 1 for free, so it's Dishonored 1, 2, and then this DLC or this standalone game.
Yeah, I'd be okay at maybe like a $70 price point for everything packed together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so the last game Bethesda showed, which wowed pretty much everybody, was Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. It had enough comedy, it had action. At first you didn't know what was going on, but
I think you froze on me.
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, no, it froze up completely for a hot minute there.
Oh, okay. You'll be able to edit this. So, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, like I said, it had comedy, it had some action, some very good, it was cut very well, and I'm into it. It
also had drugs.
Yes. That is true. And a woman stabbing a zombie with twins. I don't know why people made that such a big deal. I'm like, okay. And it had the Klan in it. And I'm like, the Klan and Nazis together? Oh, this is wonderful. And I really want to see how. No, actually,
I want you to know I'm going to edit that statement and put it somewhere completely out of context.
Yes, do it. I love it. This is very weird, and I know this is a little bit off a topic, and I kind of want to get your thoughts, Larry, about this. So, someone on Twitter wrote about why is it the white nationalists or the alt-right, why are now they becoming the enemies in video games or something like that? Because Far Cry 5 do the same thing, and people are just like, wait a minute, we've been shooting terrorists and Russians, but now when we start shooting white people, it's all sudden like it becomes a problem. What are your thoughts about this? Because I think Mafia 3, I give props to Mafia 3 for having that clan mission that you could like kill them. It feels kind of good that they're adding these people that you just don't agree with. I'm going to keep it PC, that you just don't agree with, that you finally could just blow them away, like destroy them the way that you want to destroy them.
I think this is a deep topic that we should spend a full show on at some point. Mm-hmm. I would totally love to spend an hour and a half digging into this from a social perspective. So I'm going to bite my tongue on the subject for the moment. I will say I may or may not have felt like a terrible human being for something I tweeted about the Far Cry 3 preview.
Oh, the Far
Cry
that
came later, but we'll get there. Later on down the line.
Far Cry 5.
Oh my, yeah. Oh. So, but we'll talk about that when we talk Ubi. Okay. But in any case, no. Wolfenstein, though, just to kind of wrangle it back to where it needs to be here.
Yes.
No, Wolfenstein trailer looked fucking impressive.
Yeah.
I thought it was a spectacularly edited piece of trailer. Like you said, it's, you know what it made me think of? It made me think of Man in the High Castle.
Ooh.
That's what was going through my head.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it seems to play on that alternate history thing, which, God, I love well-written alternate history science fiction, because it's always interesting to see what an author thinks, the outcome would have been if you tweaked just one thing.
Yes.
And, sometimes it's well done, other times not so much, but man, when it's done right, when it's executed this fantastic, then sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, I know for this game, it's a must buy for me. I own the game for PS4. I just need to dedicate more time in actually beating it, and then I do want to pick up the New Blood. I do want to pick up that DLC on that standalone and give that one a try, because they said that one was good. Some people were confused on the storyline of the connection of games, but I think someone answered it online. But yeah, this one I'm definitely looking forward to. Like, out of the whole conference of Bethesda, I think this and to me the Skyrim link really did it for me. Like, I was very impressed, and Bethesda Land was cool. I kind of like that they went into a direct style for that. But yeah, like that Wolfenstein 2 and Skyrim for Switch, that was probably my top two or top ones for.
Also, that's another thing too. Bethesda was the first one this year to talk about Switch anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It got completely left off the table on Saturday with EA, which seemed a little surprising. The other thing that I think is particularly worth mentioning of note here is that Bethesda is simultaneously taking Skyrim in exact opposite directions at the same time. You've got Skyrim coming to Switch on a small portable screen, that you can take anywhere, and then you've got Skyrim VR happening, which is this very, very, locked down, super deep, immersive, at least it's intended to be,
Yes.
experience as well. And so I find that fascinating that they're taking this exact same game and literally running it in opposite directions.
Yeah. I know some people are just like, okay, it's time now to move on Skyrim. But I'm like, you guys gave it Game of the Year. You guys put all the money and said this was the best game. So why not for Bethesda to run Rifted? I'm not running it to the ground, but just like, hey, this is our big cash cow, and if we can make money off of it, then let's expand it. So I give Bethesda that props.
Speaking of Game of the Year for Skyrim 2, that's another thing that was curiously not mentioned as to whether or not their Switch edition is any sort of special edition, or is this just the base model Skyrim with some amiibo functionality jammed in, and that's it. I'm curious to see what happens, because Bethesda took a fair amount of time to talk about the mod community as well, and that they're going to be fostering that considerably.
Mm-hmm.
And no talk as to whether or not Skyrim on Switch will have any kind of mod support either.
Ooh, a lot of people was
I
thinking
wouldn't
about
be
that.
surprised if it doesn't happen. It won't shock me, but it'd be nice to know. If it doesn't have it, I understand why they wouldn't put it in the show, but you've at least got to say something somewhere.
Can I say that I will want to see, once Nintendo system do their online service, if that opens up and let Bethesda be able to do mods for it. Because the mod is just on. I mean, the mod is not happening to the system; it's just happening to the game. So it's just
Right.
like them dropping like a update or a patch, and it's fixing the game. It's just adding stuff that wouldn't normally be in the game. It's just like extra data or something. Like I could see that, because you only could download the mods, right? But can you create them on Xbox One and PS4?
Not insofar as I know.
You could just download mods that people put up,
Right?
Because most of them
they were all made on PC.
Okay, so yeah, and I know. Oh, I forgot to mention that Bethesda's also doing something with their mod service where you could keep buying them from
like they're curating the best of the mod community.
Yeah, because some is gonna come from Bethesda, and some from the community and stuff. So
Right.
I don't know.
But it sounds like Bethesda's going through it and cherry picking the very best.
Yeah.
And going, this is probably the highlight stuff that you should pay attention to first.
Yes. So that was Bethesda's conference. Any games that you like that you would like pick the best of from Bethesda? Anything?
Evil Within 2.
Evil Within 2. Yeah, I should. Thank you for reminding me. That is a must buy also. So I'm sorry, everybody. I'll add that too. Yeah. So Wolfenstein 2, Evil Within 2, and the Skyrim for the Switch. So that's.
Yeah.
For me, I give them 4 out of 5 Yoshi coins.
I think I'm gonna wait to put together rankings until I see everything. But I think it wasn't a super packed show.
Yes,
but it was steady. It was consistent, and it was cohesive. At least as a presentation, just from a business presentation perspective, I think it was well put together.
Yes, I agree.
So
That I
and
agree.
I give him credit for that.
Yes, like, and we're soon going to jump into Ubisoft and Sony. So guys, come back and check that out.
We have those shows coming for you. So
Yes. So you can follow us on Twitter at World1_1 podcast.
make sure you hit that follow. We're live tweeting all of the shows this week.
Yes.
So.
And you can hear more of us at shoutengine.com. And you can email us at world11podcast@gmail.com. Larry, take it away. If you want to add anything else.
Yeah, the only thing, hit the like button on the Facebook page. We're going to be, once the press conferences are done, I'm going to be kind of curating some of the highlights from all the press conferences and getting them up on the Facebook page. So for anyone that's missed out on anything, it'll be a way to kind of catch up on all the highlights for you. Also, join the conversation, join the forums, and jump into the group there. It's growing in activity. We would love to hear, have you be part of the conversation as well. But yeah, other than that, that's it. And guys, we're going to see you back for Ubisoft.
Yes.
Good night.
And we'll talk to you there, guys, later. Bye.